Welcome to the Chris Hanna Show. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Chris Hanna Show. Today I'm going to be talking about productivity, and I want to talk about 7 specific productivity tips that I think are going to guarantee your success and help you be more effective, accomplish more faster, quicker, and ultimately have the results that you're looking for. Now, some of you have probably felt quite exhausted at the end of the day. Sometimes you feel like you work incredibly hard, yet you wonder what the hell you actually accomplished. The day seems to have been ineffective, you're feeling sluggish, you're feeling off, you don't know what the heck you actually did, and at the end of the day, your to-do list, or the things that you wanted to achieve, just didn't happen. So with that in mind, I want to give you some strategies here to really help guarantee that you're going to improve your productivity. You're going to feel like you accomplished something. And when you feel like you accomplished something, ultimately you want to have more days like that so you actually generate some momentum and achieve the results and the impact that you ultimately want. So the first thing I think that's important to note is that you have to have the right tools. And by tools, I mean you need to actually have a schedule that works for you. You want to list out and focus on your priorities, the top things that are actually going to make a difference, that are going to move the needle for you, and ensure that nothing really bumps them. That's going to take you off course. Now, your schedule needs to include the things that you need to do every day, and you need to build a routine around them, but I would advocate that it's critical and important that first your schedule is focused only on the priorities. You schedule those as soon as you possibly can, or in the time of the day that works best for you. Because there are certain days where we might not be effective. There are certain times of the day where we might not be effective. So we got to make sure we're aligning the right tasks with when we are at our best. So having the right schedule is important. What you need to focus on then is having, again, the right tools. And the right tools is having a schedule that works for you. The second way that I can guarantee that you can increase your productivity is by asking yourself this one question. What is the most effective use of your time right now? For those rare times when you haven't maybe scheduled your time the right way, you ask yourself that question and then follow through with working on that answer. You will dramatically increase the quality of the work that you do. Whatever your answer is to that question, again, what is the most effective use of your time right now? That's what you should be focused on. Yes, there's going to be things that are going to pop up that you want to maybe do, or maybe they're distractions like being on social media or browsing the internet or watching a YouTube clip or something on TikTok. But is that the most effective use of your time right now? Because if you want to be productive and you want to actually make a difference, achieve the results and impact that you want, you need to be clear and you need to be intentional. You need to use your time the right way. There's time for all that other stuff after the fact, but make sure that you're doing what you need to take care of first, and then you can enjoy it. The next thing I think you need to remember to make sure that you really guarantee that you have a productive day is to know your worth. How much money do you really want to make this year? How much money do you make in general? How much is your time worth? Let's assume that you work an 8-hour day. And maybe for easy money's sake, we'll say that you're making $50,000 a year. Well, each hour might be worth $25.61. Which means every minute is worth 4 cents. Now, if you want to make $100,000 per year, obviously you're going to want to double the above figures there that I've talked about. So every hour is worth $51.23, or 8.5 cents roughly per minute. So for every workday hour that you waste, for every hour that you waste on a $50,000 a year income, you're actually losing $6,250. And on a $100,000 salary, that's $12,500. So when you know how much your time is worth, and it's critical, again, to calculate this, you can decide and see how much is it actually costing you when you actually waste time. It's actually quite a bit, and it adds up over time. Another strategy I think that's going to guarantee your productivity and really improve your performance overall and what you can accomplish is delegating. If you want to become maybe a business owner or an entrepreneur or maybe a leader, you recognize that it is so important that you need to delegate. Obviously, take a look at some of the tasks that might be on your plate. Maybe there's an opportunity to delegate that to somebody else. Tasks that maybe don't provide value, or things that you dislike, or better yet, the things that you're just not strong in. Now, delegating is crucial, but you got to make sure that you are delegating to the right person at the right time, who has the right skill set to do the task that you've asked them to do. Because if you don't, you're going to have problems. Trust me, I've been there. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you delegate a task, or a task's been given to you maybe by somebody else and you pass it on to someone, you are responsible for that. Ultimately, actually, even better yet, you are accountable for that to make sure that what you've delegated to someone else actually happens and is followed through on. So make sure you keep a running list of the tasks that you've delegated. Check in with the person that you've sent something to and ask them to do. If you don't follow up with them, they might not think it's a priority. So be really crystal clear on the criteria that you give when you delegate a task. What are you expecting done is one, but when are you expecting it to be completed? If you want to improve your productivity, this is a simple strategy that I'm a big believer in. I've talked about before. You got to post your goals too. Because when you post your goals, it's going to provide you consistent motivation on why you're doing the things that you are doing. Now, you could go a step further and you could build yourself a vision board. But there's an opportunity to take a look and see the goals that you've got posted, or the items or things that you have on your vision board that you want to achieve. When you regularly see them, you can make them a reality. Maybe it's a picture of that new car, that new home, or some sort of symbol that signifies something key and critical that you're looking to kind of do on that vision board. Or it's an actual set of goals that you've listed. I myself have used the sticky note method, where I've put all my goals before on a wall, and I literally look at them every day until I accomplish them. Then I get a chance to take that sticky note off the wall, crush it up, and know that I've actually crushed my goal. Incredibly powerful, because you just want to do more. You want to clear the wall. But when you see it in that goal, or whether it's on a vision board, it gives you that extra motivation. And there's a subconscious thing that happens where you actually just get this extra motivation to do the job and get it done as soon as possible. The next thing I think that's important to really guarantee that you can increase your productivity is to have a success tracker. Now, success trackers can be done in different ways. I talk about it in my planner, the Achieve More planner that I have available. It's exclusively available on Amazon. But the way a success tracker really is at the end of the day, it's a simplified concept where all you're doing is recording the wins, the things that happen throughout the course of whether it's a year or months, all the things that happen that you can classify as a win, right? So whether it's big or small, something that you've done, and if it's a positive result, you want to capture what that thing was, when did it happen, and ultimately what was the impact. When you keep track of all of your wins and you regularly reflect on them, you ultimately find a good reason to, one, motivate yourself to do more, but two, have this tracker that you're able to go back to and refer to. It's very helpful for people who are trying to apply to new roles and looking for examples of things that they've done that they want to highlight on their resume, perhaps in a video, a cover letter, or an interview. But it also gives you this extra motivation when you have a really tough day. When things aren't going so well, you can look back and say, hey, you know what? I am really good at what I'm doing. Or I'm productive. I'm able to achieve what I want to achieve. It's a great source of just motivation for yourself. The final thing to really remember when it comes to trying to increase your productivity that I want to talk about today is that you have to remember this. Time can never be replaced. Because again, once it's gone, it's gone. It is the most valuable resource that is available, and is the great equalizer amongst all people. We all have the same amount of time available, 24 hours in the day. No one has ever figured out how to get more time, but they have figured out how to be more effective. And you can too. Use your time wisely. Don't spend it. Invest it the right way. Invest it in the right things, the right people, the right process, the right tools that ultimately make you more effective. No one wants to work harder than needed. Everyone wants time. If you can find a way to give yourself back more time by being more productive, you can make an impact and have an amazing life.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Chris Hanna Show. As always, the latest episodes are available to listen and subscribe to on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also follow The Chris Hanna Show on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Twitter. For more resources and solutions, including blog posts, toolkits, ebooks, speaking sessions, and more, visit chrishanna.ca today. We look forward to connecting again with you soon for another episode of The Chris Hanna Show.